The sacrifice. The metal floor was cold against John Carter's face. His head hurt badly. Everything was blurry. He tried to move, but heavy chains held his hands and feet. "Daddy, Daddy, wake up!" That voice. His daughter's voice. John's eyes opened wide. Emma was crying next to him. Her small hands were also in chains. She was only 8 years old. Her face was dirty and scared. "Emma, baby, are you okay?" John pulled himself closer to her. "I'm scared, Daddy. Where are we?" John looked around. They were in a huge room. No, not a room. An arena, like an ancient Roman stadium, but bigger. Much bigger. The walls were made of strange blue metal. Above them, thousands of creatures sat and watched. They were not human. These aliens had blue skin and 4 arms. Their eyes were black like night. Some wore armor, others wore robes. All of them stared down at the humans in the arena. John counted 12 other humans around them. All were prisoners like him and Emma. Some were crying. Others looked broken and hopeless. "Listen to me, Emma," John whispered. "Stay close to me. Don't leave my side. Understand?" Emma nodded, her small body shaking. Suddenly drums began to beat, loud and deep. The sound shook John's chest. A tall figure appeared on a golden throne high above the arena. She was female, John could tell, but she was not human. She stood 7 feet tall. Her skin was dark blue, almost purple. She wore armor made of gold and black metal. A crown of sharp crystals sat on her head. Her eyes glowed like red fire. "I am Queen Zaritha," her voice boomed across the arena. "You humans crashed on my world. You are weak, you are small, but I am merciful." John held Emma tighter. Merciful? This did not sound merciful. "You will be tested. Those who are strong will serve me. Those who are weak." The Queen smiled coldly. "We'll be slaves forever." The crowd of aliens cheered and roared. "First test, survive the beast." A massive gate opened on the far side of the arena. Something huge moved in the darkness. Then it stepped into the light. John's blood went cold. The creature was like a lion, but 3 times bigger. Its body was covered in metal scales that shined like mirrors. Its teeth were long as knives. Its eyes burned yellow with hunger. The beast roared. The sound was terrible. Some humans screamed and ran, but there was nowhere to go. The arena walls were too high. The beast charged. It ran toward a young woman who had fallen down. She screamed and covered her face. "Emma, hide behind that rock, now!" John pushed his daughter toward a large stone. "Don't come out no matter what." "Daddy, no!" But John was already running. His chains were heavy, but fear made him strong. He reached the young woman just as the beast jumped. John threw himself in front of her. The beast's claws hit John's shoulder. Pain exploded through his body. Blood ran down his arm, but John didn't fall. He grabbed a broken chain from the ground. It was heavy and sharp on one end. The beast turned to attack again. John swung the chain with all his strength. The metal hit the beast's eye. The creature screamed in pain and anger. Again and again, John hit the beast. His arms were tired. His shoulder was bleeding badly, but he didn't stop. He couldn't stop. Emma was watching. He had to protect her. He had to show her that her daddy was strong. Finally, the beast fell. It didn't move anymore. The arena went completely silent. John fell to his knees, breathing hard. Blood dripped from his wounds. He looked up at the Queen's throne. Queen Zaritha was leaning forward. Her red eyes were locked on him. Her face showed surprise, maybe even respect. Then Emma's scream broke the silence. "Daddy!" The Queen's choice. The guard's electric whip cracked through the air. John's scream echoed in the arena. "Stop! Please stop! He's my daddy!" Emma cried. But 2 alien soldiers held her back. Another strike, another scream. John's back was covered in blood, but he didn't beg. He only looked at his daughter with love in his eyes. "Enough!" The Queen's voice cut through the arena like a sword. Everyone froze. The guard lowered his whip. Queen Zaritha stood from her throne and walked down the steps. Her golden armor shined in the light. Every alien in the arena bowed their heads. But John didn't bow. He could barely stand, but his eyes met the Queen's eyes. No fear, only defiance. The Queen stopped in front of him. She was so tall that John had to look up. Her red eyes studied his face. Then slowly she reached out and touched his cheek. Her hand was surprisingly gentle. "Fascinating," she whispered. "You don't beg. You don't cry. Why?" "Because," John's voice was weak but steady, "crying won't protect my daughter." Something changed in the Queen's eyes. For just a moment her cruel mask slipped. She looked almost curious. "Take them to my chambers," she commanded, "both of them." The crowd gasped. No human had ever been taken to the Queen's private rooms. It was unheard of. Hours later, John woke up on a soft bed. His wounds had been cleaned and bandaged. Emma was asleep beside him, holding his hand. They were in a massive room filled with strange alien technology. The walls glowed with soft blue light. "Your daughter loves you very much." John's head snapped up. Queen Zaritha sat on a chair across the room, watching them. She had removed her armor. Now she wore a simple black robe. Without the armor, she looked less like a warrior queen and more like a woman. "Why are we here?" John asked. "Why didn't you kill us?" "Because you interest me, John Carter." The Queen stood and walked closer. "My people, the Kryllians, we don't understand weakness. We kill the weak. We abandon those who cannot fight." She sat on the edge of the bed. Emma stirred, but didn't wake. "But you fought a beast to save a stranger. You took punishment for a child who cannot fight. This makes no sense to me. Explain it." John looked at his sleeping daughter. "It's called love, Your Majesty. Humans protect those we love. Family is everything to us." "Family?" The Queen's voice was soft, almost sad. "I have never known family. Kryllian children are raised by the state. We are taught only to fight, to conquer, to never show weakness." Before John could answer, the door burst open. A tall alien warrior stormed in. His forearms were covered in scars. His face was twisted with anger. "My queen, this is madness." The warrior pointed at John. "This human is weak. Keeping him dishonors you." "Commander Vex," the Queen's voice turned cold, "you dare enter my chambers uninvited." "I challenge him," Vex roared. "Combat. If this human is worthy of your attention, let him prove it. If I win, the child becomes my slave. If he wins—" Vex laughed cruelly. "He can have his freedom." John's heart stopped. Emma. They wanted to take Emma. "No!" John stood up, his wounds screaming with pain. "I accept, but if I win, both of us go free." The Queen raised her hand. "Commander Vex, this human is already injured. This is not honorable combat." "Afraid he'll lose, my queen?" Vex smiled darkly. "Or are you protecting your new pet?" The Queen's eyes flashed with rage, but she knew the law. Once a challenge was made, it could not be refused, not without losing respect. "Very well," she said slowly. "Tomorrow at dawn, in the throne room." Vex bowed and left, laughing. Emma woke up, rubbing her eyes. "Daddy, what's happening?" John knelt beside her, ignoring the pain. He held her face in his hands. "Everything's going to be okay, baby. Daddy promises." But inside, John was terrified. His body was broken. His wounds were deep. How could he defeat the strongest warrior in the Kryllian army? The Queen watched them. Something stirred in her heart, something she had never felt before. Fear, not for herself, but for them. "John Carter," she said quietly, "do you truly believe you can win?" John looked at Emma, then at the Queen. His voice was strong despite his pain. "I have to, because I promised her mother I'd keep her safe, and I never break my promises." The Queen turned away, her hands clenched into fists. Tomorrow, this human would die. And for the first time in her life, Queen Zaritha didn't want someone to die. What was happening to her? The Bond dawn came too quickly. John stood in the throne room, his body still aching from yesterday's wounds. Commander Vex circled him like a predator, all 4 arms holding deadly weapons. Emma sat beside the Queen's throne, tears streaming down her face. Queen Zaritha sat perfectly still, her face like stone, but her hands gripped the armrests so tightly that the metal bent. "Begin!" an alien official shouted. Vex charged like a bull. His forearms swung swords and spears at John. John dodged left, then right. He had no weapon, only his human brain. A sword sliced his arm. John gasped in pain, blood dripped to the floor. Vex laughed. "Is this your champion, my queen, this bleeding weakling?" John's vision blurred. His legs felt weak. He was going to lose. Emma would become a slave. No, no. Then John remembered something. His wife's last words before she died. "Humans don't win with strength, John. We win with heart, with strategy." John stopped running. He stood still. "What's wrong, human? Giving up?" Vex rushed forward. At the last second, John dropped to the ground. Vex's momentum carried him forward. John grabbed Vex's ankle and twisted hard. The big warrior crashed to the floor. His own spear fell and stabbed into his shoulder. Vex screamed. John grabbed the spear and pointed it at Vex's throat. The throne room went silent. "Yield," John said quietly. Vex's eyes were wide with shock. I yield." The crowd erupted. Aliens shouted in disbelief. A human had defeated their strongest warrior. Emma screamed with joy and ran to her father. John caught her, hugging her tight despite his pain. Queen Zaritha stood slowly. She looked at John with something new in her eyes. Wonder, admiration, maybe even something more. "You have won, John Carter. You and your daughter are—" Boom! An explosion shook the palace. The walls cracked. Alarms screamed through the air. "We're under attack!" a soldier shouted. "The Zeth are here!" Chaos erupted. Alien warriors ran everywhere. Through the broken wall, John saw enemy ships in the sky. Strange creatures with grey skin and too many teeth poured into the palace. "Emma, stay behind me." John pushed his daughter behind a pillar. 3 Zeth soldiers burst into the throne room, their weapons aimed at the Queen. She had no weapon, no guards nearby. John didn't think. He just ran. He tackled the first Zeth, punching and kicking. He wasn't strong like them, but he fought dirty. Fingers in eyes, kicks to weak spots. Anything to survive. The Queen grabbed a fallen sword and fought beside him. Together, they killed the 3 enemies. "Why did you save me?" The Queen stared at John, breathing hard. "Because it was right," John said simply. More Zeth poured in. The battle raged for hours. John showed the Kryllian soldiers human tactics, ambushes, traps, strategy instead of just brute force. Emma helped too, warning them when enemies came from behind. She was small, but her eyes were sharp. The Queen watched John fight for her people, for her world. This human owed her nothing, yet he fought like it was his own home. Finally, victory was close. The Zeth leader appeared, huge and terrifying. He raised a gun filled with poison darts. The dart flew through the air, straight at Emma. "No!" John dove. The dart hit his chest instead. He crashed to the ground. "Daddy!" Emma screamed. Queen Zaritha's vision went red with rage. She killed the Zeth leader with one powerful strike. Then she ran to John. His lips were turning blue. The poison was spreading fast. "Don't die," the Queen whispered, cradling his head. Her voice cracked. "Please don't die." Emma sobbed against her father's chest. The Queen's mind raced. There was one way, ancient Kryllian medicine. Her blood could cure any poison, but it would create a permanent bond. She would feel his emotions. He would feel hers, forever connected. She didn't hesitate. The Queen cut her palm and pressed it against John's wound. Her purple blood mixed with his red blood. Ancient words poured from her lips. Light exploded from the wound. John gasped, his eyes flying open. 3 days later, John woke in a soft bed. Emma was asleep in his arms. The Queen sat beside them, holding his hand. "You saved me." John whispered. You saved me first, the Queen said softly. You taught me what love means, what family means. What happens now? The Queen smiled, a real smile, warm and gentle. Now you choose. Stay with me, not as prisoner, as partner, as equals. Help me change my people, teach us to be strong and kind. John looked at Emma. She woke up and smiled. I like her, Daddy. She's brave like you. John touched the Queen's face gently. We'll stay, together. The Queen touched Emma's hair with wonder. A family, she whispered, and for the first time in her life, Queen Zaritha understood. Power wasn't just strength. True power was love. And this human had shown her the greatest power in the universe, a father's love for his child, the tutente.